Welcome to the Jumpcast, powered by Matter, bringing transformational learning experience to your life. Hi everyone, welcome to Jumpcast, powered by Matter. I'm C-Name, your host, bringing inspiration and empowerment to tomorrow's leader. Today we're joined by TingTing, a Princeton grad with first class honor, and Tan, a UC Berkeley grad who earned a spot on the Dean list. Today's episode is a special episode because we're diving into Road to Top University, actionable academic prep tips, practical steps high school student can take to ace to prepare to top U admissions, from study habits to standout applications. Let's get started. Yay! Okay, let's start with introduce yourself.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is TingTing. I'm currently living and working in Bangkok. I graduated from Princeton in 2020 with a degree in neuroscience. And I'm here with...
Tan. I'm Tan. I graduated in 2023 from UC Berkeley. My major is chemical engineering. And yeah, nice to be here with you, TingTing.
Nice to meet you.
So let's get started with our first question. What study habits in high school set you up for your dream university success?
One thing I did during high school was that I tried to prioritize academic before even getting to my games or hobby. I don't really, I just put my phone away into another room and then, just focus studying. Every day before I take a test or exams, I tend to do past papers to help me go through what I learned in class and also help me prepare for the style, the format of the test, and maybe some tips or those tricky questions so I get to know those ahead of time, not shock me before I just go into a not before I just jump right into the testing in the exam room. So those were some stuff I always do. Also, I always have fruit when I'm studying, so I don't when I'm multitasking, sometimes you play on your phone and also studying, right? But my multitask is food, so my mouth is always moving, so helps me with memorizing more, and also maybe that adds a bit more vitamin C, vitamin D into my body, I don't know. Yeah, so it's those small stuff that I do to help me maintain my focus when studying in the tests.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. I think there's some things that are similar for me. I think also learning or just figuring out for myself the discipline that I need to separate when it's time to focus versus when I have space to take a break. I think I find a balance between studying hard and then maybe having hobbies in sports also. What else? I feel it was useful. In general, I would say that for every person might have different methods of studying that work best for them. So I would just suggest that for every student out there who's thinking about this, to understand how they best study and then go follow that. Because, for example, for me, I study best through repetition and practice. Mm-hmm. So it takes a lot of time, but some other people might not require that amount of that approach. Yeah. And then maybe one other thing was I would always, back in high school days, I would always study in a particular place in my room. I have my whole setup, and then I know it's time to work whenever I sit down there. So having the environment really helped my brain. Yeah.
I think the best thing is set up the proper environment that support your study. That's a really great tool. So let's move on to another question. How did you choose high school courses to strengthen your Ivy League, your top U application?
I wonder if it's different depending on the high school, what kind of electives that you can, or how much you can choose your classes. For my high school, there's certain requirements that you have, and then maybe you can choose 2 classes every semester. And to be quite honest, I wasn't thinking about my applications or my resume or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about what classes seem the most interesting to me, because, which I think, looking back in hindsight, like that's also a good strategy, because if I'm interested in something, then I'll actually like care about it and I'll work hard. But that was, I don't know. I don't know that there's a, I think if you know what you're going to do in the future, then maybe you can pursue that through your classes. But I was still in an exploratory phase, so I was really just choosing based on what interested me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I want to mention to like, high school students right now who is, you don't know what you really like or what kind of career you want to pursue, it's completely fine. Like a lot of my friends just apply into university undeclared, and then they end up discovering like something that they never thought they would be, or they would never have passion in, and then they would just, you apply into college undeclared, take some elective class, some breath classes, and then you just know right away, you're like, oh, I just realized my passion. I can pursue a career in this particular path, that's completely fine. However, for me, I knew right away since high school that I want to pursue my career in chemical engineering, because that's what my family does. They own like a chemical plant in Thailand, a refinery to be more specific. And so I just knew that, one day I just want to help my family. They're making a good amount of, money for me, and I want to do that for my family as well. So, and I ended up taking chemistry, math, and physics for my higher level. Oh, I think I should mention too that I took the IB curriculum. So they made me choose, 3 higher level courses and 3 more standard level courses. So those are the requirement. I had to take 6 courses over the period of 2 years, and then by the end of high school, I took all the tests 6 within the 3-week period. But then before that, you just get the predicted score for the applying for university. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It was kind of straightforward to me, but the most important thing is that you don't need to rush yourself. If you don't know what to take, maybe consult your counselor or consult any friends, cousin who've been through it before, or like any college counseling, college admission team. There's plenty out there. So don't be scared if you don't have something in mind yet. It's completely fine.
Great. That's a great suggestion. Be specific in your pathways is the key. Okay, let's moving on to the third question. What test prep strategies help you ace standardized tests like SAT, ACT?
It's been a few more years for me, so I'll let you go first.
Okay, sure. So for that, I remember that every time I'm about to take an SAT test, I don't know if this is appropriate to go, to speak of, like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. So I took a day off from school one day before the test. So it's always on a Saturday. So every Friday, I'm gonna skip school, just do practice tests over and over again until I feel more comfortable with that. Those YouTube videos also help. Nowadays, I don't know, there's plenty out there. Back in the days, it was more there wasn't that many like free tutoring videos out there. So nowadays, I think there's plenty in YouTube. So you can go watch those. Like they have like small tips and tricks that helps you, bump your score up by 50 or 100, which will help you a lot in terms of, applying. Yeah, so do a lot of practice tests and also try to stay hydrated the day before the test and get enough sleep. That's the most important thing. Don't overstudy.
Yeah. Okay. I would super emphasize the taking care of yourself, because I feel like the best mental state is when you have you've rested, you have food in your body, you've drunk enough water, and then you have enough energy to actually focus. And I also do agree with the lots of practice tests. I feel like there's for standardized tests, and not necessarily not everyone's gonna feel this way, but a lot of people will feel the pressure because like, oh, it's a big thing for college, or oh, it's a big thing for whatever, and then that can, I feel, cause like a freeze response, like a panic response. And if you're able to simulate the conditions as much as you can through practice tests, like you sit down, it's like you put a timer on, like your phone is completely elsewhere, no distractions. You do the whole test as if you were taking it in real time, then you're gonna get used to it. And then when the actual test comes, even if you panic, you'll, I think, readjust quicker. A small tip that I listen to, but I don't know if this is scientifically true. People say that like not just the night before the big event, night before that one is also really important for sleep. So don't think that you can pull an all-nighter and then go to sleep for one night and then take your test. No, two nights of good sleep
Agree.
will be the best option if you can do it.
Yes. Can I add something? So looking back, what I would have done is that, luckily my school, my high school offers like SAT tests. They're like a test center themselves. So I was pretty much lucky because every time I take exams, it's also in the same room. So I think that kind of helped a lot in terms of, being more used to the environment, more used to the surrounding, and like, the walls sometimes can intimidate you with like the space and the aircon, all those stuff. So if your high school is a test center, maybe, you try to go into that room and do a round or two of practice tests and time yourself like you mentioned. I think that would be a great tip. I don't know, but like, yeah, for sure, influence is something.
Great. So, how do you craft a standout personal essay or letter of motivation or application for your university?
Okay, I can go first. Looking back, I can't really remember what the exact topic I did was, because for UCs, you have 4 essays in total. In addition, and then I also did the Common App application for other US universities. So it's a lot of topic, but how I crafted out was that I like to, start with, like the problem or like something that is stuck in my head or heart, all the problems, and then I come to realize it's like a moment of realization. I like to call it that, like the moment of enlightenment. And I structure my essay, most of my essay in that way that, I've encountered something and how I became part of the solution, how I realized I should act that way. Like most of my essays are like structured that way to show how I've grown, how I process as a person, progress as a person. So yeah, like I like to structure it that way.
Okay. Well, I mean, I applied in 2015, but so I don't remember the details. But I do remember I also applied Common App to US universities, and I have no clue what the secondary prompts might have been, but I remember that the main prompt that I chose for my Common App was like something about describe a time when you experience failure and like what you learned from it. And I have also, my experience is obviously personal and specific, but there are maybe some things that we can generalize from it. I think my first draft was a bit like playing it safe, let's say. But after talking to some people that I looked up to as like mentors who are a couple years older than me, they encouraged me to maybe be more like authentic and perhaps more like vulnerable and personal. So my second draft, it was a very personal topic. And I felt like it was kind of taking a risk to be like truthful and honest about something like a real experience. And I would assume that that was the right, like it went well because I got some acceptances. Generally, I feel like I would just add that I think it would be safe to say that schools like to not just to know what happened, but also like what students learned and how, as you said, like how they grow from a particular experience that they're talking about. So I think the reflection is a very important part.
Last question for you all. What role did extracurricular activities play in your application preparations and stuff? And how did you balance them?
I can go.
Sure.
So I want to throw it out there that all my scores together, I think that it's not that high compared to like other candidates. A big portion of my admission came from my extracurricular. I think I want to emphasize that diversifying your portfolio helps a lot. So I had sports captain. I was in the student government for high school. I had internships from Italy, China, also in Bangkok. And it's not just only chemical engineering related. It's like business. It's in production, video. I did like charity concert, all sort of stuff. So I think those are activities that helped shape me as a person, and I've learned a lot from it. And I was able to reflect and describe those activities in detail. So, and those activities also show like leadership and also other soft skills. So I think those helped a lot in terms of diversifying the portfolio and convincing the admission officer. My scores compared to other candidates are not that, I would say just a bit below average, but not too
Okay, how about TingTing?
Okay. I think, interestingly enough, in hindsight, I think I had a pretty different approach to your extracurriculars. And I didn't do this on purpose. It was just what I spent my time doing. I spend a lot of time on one thing, which was like a sport. So I did that for 2 seasons at school. So my school had, I've played it in a fall season and then a co-ed team in the spring season. So I played 2 seasons of that, and I played club in the winter, and I played a different other clubs in the summer. So it was very much just focused. Most of my time outside of school that was structured was in this in volleyball, and I quite honestly I did it because I enjoyed it, and I think, I'll be honest, I don't know that I think college admissions are getting more and more competitive every year, and I have friends from my year who were doing research internships at NIH, because we grew up in Maryland near NIH centers, and other kinds of more structured, more, I don't know, things that maybe look better to admissions officers. And somehow it worked out for me that I didn't do those. And also I think now if I were to apply, to be honest, I'm not sure. I think it would be harder to get into these days.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Extracurriculars, I don't know. I can't comment on how it affected the decisions of the admissions committees that reviewed my application, but I will say that what I spent my time on did make me a more I don't know. It gave me soft skills and made me a more interesting and well-rounded person. I don't know about candidate, but as a person, I would say extracurricular is definitely super important.
So
Go ahead.
so don't just focus all your attention to all the test scores or your academics. You should have some space for your extracurricular activities as well.
I think there's definitely skills that you can't learn just doing academics. Yeah,
That's right.
Okay, last question is the special question for Tan. How do your academic experiences inform your work with EverLearnX, and what preparation skills you use to coach students at EverLearnX?
How my skills during university helped me with my work, right? So I went through it all, applying, actually learning, and then spending like 4 entire years for whole year, Berkeley. I went through it all. So those experience, all the grinds, all the early morning lectures, all the exams I had to do, I've been through it. So I can advise how you should prepare for it, how my clients should approach different application, how they should approach different extracurricular profile building, those stuff. So I think that all the skills, all the experience I obtained during university helped me a lot. And then second part is what skill, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, throughout university, you learn to be, more independent, more organized. You need to be you need to learn all those time management, interpersonal skills, leadership skills, all those, somehow they come together and also helped shaped me as a person. And, if I'm able to deliver that to my client and give them, all the tips and tricks, that would be something I ever want to give, to be a small part of someone's journey to university and successfully get them into their dream school is all I could ask for, it's their dream. So if you can help be part, just be a small part to help push dream and make it come true, it, would be nice. And hopefully I keep doing that, and including the visas challenges, or even talking to obtain your F1 visas from the international office there. I've been through it all. So these are some small problems that me as a international student faced during my year back in high school. So to help bridge the gap, this is where EverLearnX comes in. We help with all the profile building, any test issues. We have 100% success rate in getting kids into college. Hopefully, I'm not the first one. Just joking. And also, help with all the consulting from day one, including, essays, like letter of recommendations, scores, all those stuff, profile building to end it. So yeah, if you want any insight and free consulting for the first session, please add line at EverLearnX here or here. Here. Don't forget the @ sign. EverLearnX. Okay, thank you.
Great. That was packed with killer tips. TingTing and Tan ready to prep for Ivy League to top university success. Discover EverLearnX personalized coaching to secure your spot at top universities. EverLearnX services. Thank you for joining Jumpcast powered by Gens Matter. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more episodes. Bye. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it forward and follow our channel for more transformational stories powered by youth, built for impact.